Vamos mexer com the NFT Project today. I think I'm gonna incorporate this crypto zombie stuff, but I forgot a lot of the things that I did here. I just remember that at some point I used CACAC or 256 or something like that to generate futures randomly. So I think it's a good idea to just see the contracts from this stuff. And try to put this into the other projects. So maybe I should just create in my project the crypto zombies stuff. Oh, but it's not done. Hmm. At least this one I can copy. Yeah, that's the function that I was thinking about. gets a string and then converts into a random number based on this hashing algorithm. So I can use these functions and change them to create something else. And I remember at some point they were using SVGs to create the zombie image. I also thought about incorporating some AI stuff into this, but I think it's gonna be too much. It's unnecessarily complicated. Maybe I'll have to sign into the MetaMask. Yeah. It's weird that in this window that doesn't show up the button. But if I open on here, I think it shows. There's something going on here. Don't remember the password for this one. Yeah, here shows the button. But on this version it doesn't. Just quite strange. Might have to do with some ad block or something. Or here it doesn't show, here it shows. I'm not sure why. So if I got the same thing here. Yeah, here it doesn't show. Oh no, it's the same mistake. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Hmm. I remember I made one, so maybe I made it on the other wallet. Yeah, I think I made this one on the other wallet. So I have to see how she did this. This buttons here. I think I should probably just upload an image to see what happens there.
I'm going to teach you how to generate digital art using advanced AI like this and like this. So if you want to generate beautiful art, stay tuned because I will teach you how to do this in less than 5 minutes and all for free. Damn! Alright, so the first thing you need to do is click the link in the description, and that's going to send you to this Google Colab notebook. Now, if you don't know what Google Colab is, it's really just a website that allows you to run these art generators for free. And this is all because of the power of cloud computing. Now, once you click that link, the first thing I want you to do is hover over this first code block here and then press the play button. And what that's going to do is download all the required packages to run this art generator, okay? So while that's downloading, it will take about 5 minutes. What I'm going to do is just talk about how this art generator works. Now, most of you may know of VQGAN and Clip, which is another art generator that I talked about on this channel. Now, the difference between that one and this one here is that here we're using a diffusion model to generate the image, whereas in the other one we're using VQGAN to generate that image. Now, for some backstory, a research group came out a couple months ago and said that GANs are absolute freaking trash and that diffusion models are a lot better at generating fake images. Now, I kind of disagree because VQGAN is a very powerful art generator and it can generate some very unique and beautiful art. Although if you do compare VQGANs and diffusion models statistically, diffusion models are a lot better at generating fake images. Now, the reason they're a lot better is because diffusion models construct that final image a bit differently. What they do is they do it in layers. And so they generate every single layer in an image, and that is what produces a very cool image, which is very similar to how an actual artist creates their art. Another thing you'll find with this art generator is that all the same keywords that you use for VQGAN and Clip work for this model here. So that's great news because you can use all the same keywords, although something to keep in mind is that not all the keywords will do the same impact as they do for VQGAN with diffusion, okay? So there's a lot of keywords that don't work vice versa, but there are a lot that work for both art generators, okay? So just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna let this download for a bit longer, and once it's done, we can start playing around with this art generator. All right, so my code block has just finished running, and the way you'll notice that it's done running is when that loading bar disappears, okay? And another way of knowing when that code block is done is going on the left menu and pressing this folder icon here, okay? So if you press that open, what you should see is 4 folders and 1 file for the diffusion model, okay? So just make sure that you have those 4 folders and that 1 file, and if you do, then we're ready to run and we're ready to go to step number 2. So let's do that, okay? So in step number 2, this is where we can pass in the parameters for our art generator, okay? So as you'll notice, we have a text. So the text here is the Cyberpunk Purple Noir Wizard by Greg Rakowski, ArtStation HD, okay? So I really like this prompt because I personally consider myself a cyberpunk, and my favorite color is purple. So I just wanted to show this because I really want you to tweak this to whatever you like, right? So instead of doing purple, you can do yellow, red, pink, any color you want, right? And instead of cyberpunk, you can do anything like fairy or I don't know, mecha man or mecha woman. So you can really do whatever you want, and you can be as creative as you want with this, okay? The next parameter that you can pass in is the number of images, okay? So here it's 5, so it'll generate 5 images just by running it once. Now I want this so that you can
So
generate.
my idea was to take this stuff and put it on the project, so it generates random art. Maybe I can download this. I didn't know before that the thing was here. Oh, I think this is stuff from things that I did previously, not related to this project here. So maybe I can't download the the code for this one. But if I can download or figure out a way to download the code for this art generator here, what I could do is integrate this into the NFT project. But I think it might be too complicated, so I think it might be easier to. Maybe I will start it out with the crypto zombie stuff first. I have to understand because I don't remember really well how this page is integrated in here. I have to see. It's probably gonna be on the app.js here somewhere. I remember looking into this wallet, but I don't think that's the component that has that page. And it just has this nav.item, but that's the only navigation that exists here. That's the thing. So I need to figure out what page is this on that, so I can start changing the structure of this page here. And then I can add buttons, and I can test to see how to create, because ideally I want to get the same thing here that she did here, where I'm getting this component here, this pop-up, and then all I have to do is put the name, and then it generates random NFT based on the template. Because I suspect the way she did this was by changing the smart contract so that it has the standard SVG for the images here. And then as you input the string, it changes the features of the dog you're getting. And I think I want to do the same thing, but with some other art. So it might be actually, depending on how hard it is to integrate the other stuff, I think it might be interesting to try to find some algorithms of artificial intelligence generating art. I was looking into the DALL-E or something like that off stream, and the images are really good. It's from OpenAI. I think it has around 2 billion parameters or something like that, but obviously that one is not open source yet because they're probably concerned with the way that people were gonna use this. Yeah, but there might be some variations or some other ones that are out there that are not as good, but that are free and open source. I believe that should be the case, because it's pretty much just fitting the data, fitting the text into, because SVG is just text. So what the network does is integrate the text. It trains on probably billions of texts, or even more, trillions maybe. Based the whole internet and trains on the whole text, and then finds the weights and biases over the giant network of billions of parameters that transforms the whatever string you put into it into pixel values that generate the image, the correlation. And it's pretty crazy how you can maintain some level of context and creativity. And yeah, I think most predictions now are probably to get just the singularity anywhere between 2024 and 2028, which is kind of crazy to think about. I think it is ran already. Also here, there's the. I remember looking at this yesterday, but I don't think this code is the one that creates the network. I think the network is an API that is being done behind the scenes, and then you can access through this code here. This is just the Google Colab code. Or maybe I can go, yeah, OpenAI. Maybe I can go to this repo, these repositories, and maybe clone them on my own stuff. The thing they teach you on the other tutorial is that you can use this thing called IPF or IPS or something like that, which is a distributed structure for deploying files and folders. So it's pretty much blockchain for files and folders storage. And there's some cap that you can upload things for free here. But above that, then you have to pay. But if I'm able to deploy all these repos for free into this thing here, it might be possible to do it. Because then I can use these files to generate the art in a decentralized way and not be confined to my local machine. It might be interesting to study this repository as well. Just see how the algorithm works. I'm not sure if yes, it has to be here actually. So maybe I'll check this out. Here's all the stuff that is using PyTorch, NumPy, Matplotlib. It's probably using PyTorch for all the pixels calculations and the neural network, obviously. Yeah, but basically what it does is transform the text into images. Whatever description you put there, and it generates the images. But I don't think this is DAO E2. It's probably some other version. But maybe I can use this one, can download this one to my local machine, the repos, and then try to integrate that with the project, the NFT project. Yeah, now it's gonna take a long time because it's generating the images. If you go right back. The thing about this is that when I did it, it generated an infinite amount of images. It ran for a long time, so I have to be careful to not leave this running. I was curious to see here, I put Family Guy Rabbit to see if it would understand that Family Guy is the name of the TV show, but it looks like it's gonna generate pictures that are related to family, which is something interesting because if you think about the way that it's probably training is with the information of the internet, so I think whatever you see most, whatever there's most in the internet is what's most likely to be represented in the images. So if Family Guy is a subsection of a bigger section, which is family, it's probably gonna, I think there's a higher probability that the pictures are gonna be related to family and not the TV show. So the thing is, I think that's the thing. When they say that we're gonna reach singularity, they're probably talking about just the level of intelligence of the system and not the consciousness. Let's say, and I think it's separated those two things because that's the thing that for me is missing on all these artificial intelligence models is that they're just feeding the data into functions. They're using the data into functions, but so far I think at least is very hard to encapsulate the context into that because, and maybe that's a limitation of science and computation itself. That's the problem because context is always dependent on the experience of the observer, and the content is the science and the machine learning models. So pretty much there's no way to incorporate the nature of the data itself into the model. So you're always confined by whatever the data. The model doesn't have any relationship with the data itself, the creation of the data itself. It only absorbs that data. But you can make an argument that human beings are the same thing, because we are just a collection of impulses that have abstraction based on these impulses. So we're pretty much feeding data machines as well, because our experience is just that relationship of the stimulus you have from what you perceive, but I think is slightly different. And maybe I think the models can be improved drastically, and they probably will, or maybe they are people that are already doing this, and I'm just not aware of. But if you incorporate science, not science, incorporate the laws of physics like electromagnetics and gravitational, general relativity and stuff like that, and you combine that with the context to give context to the data, to the abstraction of data, and maybe you can compress the data that way. So use these models that are being trained on the text, and then you create this vector space of the text and language in order to map space-time, and then you combine both of these things, and then maybe you can generate something that is conscious. And I think that's probably the path they're working on right now, and that they believe is gonna create something that is more intelligent than any human on the planet in 6 years from now, or something like that. Because I think that's all that language is a vector space that is always relative to space-time and the electromagnetic field, which is the transfer of information through space-time. I'm not sure if this ran all the way. It seems like the resolution is really bad. The other one that I seen from the guy, the resolution was really better. Yeah, so these are probably the final images. Maybe I'll try to find the other one, the other video. I'll be right back.
least 100 images, but right now it's kind of buggy, so I'm gonna spend a couple days after this video is released just trying to fix it so you can generate as many images as you want. For the time being, it is a bit buggy, so keep it at 5. It's the golden number. So yeah. So all you need to do now is to run this block so that you can set that text, set it in stone, and then we can move on to step number 3, where we can run the art generator. And it's just a matter of pressing these play buttons, right? Now I'm also going to run the next one to plot generated images so that we plot those generations afterwards. But now we just wait, right? So that's the beauty of it. This is a very fast art generator, so at least compared to VQGAN, this is gonna go really quick. Yeah. So I'm gonna let this generate, and I'll see y'all once it's done. All right, so we just finished generating the art, and there's a couple things you need to keep in mind here, okay? So number 1, this took me about 5 minutes to generate 5 beautiful art pieces, okay? Another thing is that every single time you run this art generator, it's going to generate something completely unique. So all the art that I just generated has never been seen before and is completely unique. So that's a great thing about this. And I'm pretty sure you can use this anywhere. So you can use that as your logo, maybe an NFT, all sorts of things. Okay, so very cool technology. And you can see we generated 5 beautiful pieces. Now you may be asking, how do I download my image? Well, if you look on the left-hand side, there's this generations folder. If you press that open, you'll see all the 5 generations that we just did. So you can double-click it, and you'll see the 512 pixel by 512 pixel image right there. You can also press the 3 dots here and download it. But another thing I want you to see is these beautiful prompts code block. Okay, so here I added a bunch of different different prompts that you can try to generate beautiful art. And I highly recommend trying all of them, and maybe just tweaking them just a little bit. Okay, they're all very beautiful prompts. And another thing is, if you want to super enhance it to 1760 by 1760, definitely check it out. But that's going to conclude this video. If you want to become a master generative artist, check out the course in the link in the description. In that course, I teach you how to generate all sorts of things like music, language, all sorts of art. So definitely check it out because I constantly keep it updated with the latest trends in AI, and I teach you how to become a generative artist master. Okay, so check it out, and I'll see y'all.
The thing that is gonna be that I'm not sure is if it is even possible. It's probably possible, but how I'm gonna incorporate? How is the computation are gonna be incorporated into the blockchain? If I do it, if I try to integrate that with this project here, I think from her project, she probably she did a list, I think, with some variations and then using random numbers to integrate. I think I'm gonna put the music, stream beats music. I have to get into to Spotify. The music sucks, then I'm just gonna listen. I'm just gonna listen to my own music and decrease the volume on the stream. It's probably not the best music if it's free. I think this is stuff from the project. No, that's probably the ones that she added. Yeah, then here is the list of the colors, I think. Colors, space, marks. But maybe she generated the SVG using some sort of computation. create canine. So use a safe mint, which I believe it is a function from one of the contracts that this inherits the base contract, which comes from one of these ERC 721 from Open Zeppelin. And is a function to mint NFTs. And the reason why it's safe mint, yeah, I forgot there's something about if you use the mint function. Oh yeah, if you use the mint function, it doesn't check if the contract that is receiving can send it back or something like that. So I think if you downside of using the mint, the only mint function, is that you can get the NFT can become wasted, can go to a contract that it can't get out of, and that's why you use the safe mint instead, from what I understand. So it uses the block timestamp to get randomness, which is not quite random, but so here she did the SVG for this stuff, or generates SVG for canine hand based on canine states. So I think I understand what she did here. She created an initial set of array of colors, and then created this function to generate or to change the features using this random the CAC 256 hash algorithm to generate this state. Yeah, that's the thing that I don't know, because yeah, that's the difference. I think she is generating random pictures, random maybe I'm not understanding the creation actually of the NFT initially, but I think she has a fixed set of possibilities into the thing, and then generates the NFT based on the fixed sets of possibilities. If I was going to incorporate the machine learning stuff, then it's a different thing, because it has to run the algorithms in order to fit the data based on the text. So I think it's a different kind of process. I'm not sure how to incorporate that into the blockchain. because you would need to run GPUs every time someone runs the thing. You can't use the blockchain to do that for you, I think. What I can do is obviously generate a bunch of them, and then based on that create algorithms that get the text and get the closest approximation from the ones generated, but it's not quite the same. So here it generates the image from the box. I think I'm gonna go over this while I look into the one that I have, just the differences. You can do this with React, I think, with the components, just mapping an array and then placing a div each time there is a change on state. And that's the thing, it's not completely decentralized because the front end is on the repository anyway. So maybe it doesn't matter if you have the machine learning stuff. Because the NFT is just the ability to verify that you own that. It's not related to the thing itself, let's say. Yeah, you can use the algorithm to generate the image and then do that on the contract. The contract part just stores the image generated by the thing. And that's interesting, but then what if the generation fails? That's the problem. So maybe I can have a baseline that uses only the randomness. Well, this is the current contract that I have, and that's the other one. I didn't test to see if this is working as well. The blockchain functions. Yeah, that's why I was gonna see this stuff here. I was going to create this image and then save the image, so I can try to see if my stuff is working here with the button. But the more I think about it, the more I want to do the machine learning stuff. Integrate. Maybe it's better to try to do the easy one first. Which is pretty much just copy what you did, but change to my own thing. I could just also pretty much do Krypton zombies, but with that thing instead. So the image comes from this encoding here, API.encode packet. I just need to spend more time to understand, to see if I really understand how it's being generated. I'm also gonna try to see what is changing that page there. Maybe I can try to fork this and then see the differences by trying to merge into my stuff. That might be a good idea. I think this part is the same, pretty much. Just different name. Maybe it's on the NFTs component. But this is the page that, yeah, this is the page that got split, so it's the NFT. Intercontracts. I'm gonna close this one so I don't get confused. Card is probably the one that is generating the... Yeah, I think this one generates the components based on the NFT props. It generates the blocks with the images. All this code they provide, by the way. It's not stuff that I had to do. I only made a few changes and did the IPS, the decentralized file stuff, and minted the NFT. But the rest of the front end is just, they provide the code and you just follow the tutorial. So let me see, where is this NFT? Minter NFT, yes. Oh, so it's all of them? I didn't know you can put components like that in the page. So this one receives the meter contract and name. This comes from Solo. Yeah, this music kind of sucks, to be honest. I think I'm gonna just close this shit. It's too repetitive. I think I'm gonna put my own music and just decrease the volume. So I think the add NFTs is probably the one that has the button on it. Yeah, this is the API that gets the images, I think. Or stars. I don't know. This is just I remember at some point there was, maybe it was another tutorial. There was a call to this IPF pass stuff. Maybe I'm confusing the two. Because I think it was another thing, because they teach you how to create a contract and access the NFT that you deposited through this site here. You pretty much use this code. After you upload the file here, you use this code to find the NFT, to mint the NFT using this API there. Yeah, this is the button, probably. And the show this function. Set show true. Then if show is true, so this is the function that creates the pop-up stuff, which is the form used to upload the NFT or to create the NFT. And is this model here component, which is using Bootstrap, I think. Yeah, React Bootstrap. So this is the form that I have to change in order to... So I have to change this form, and then based on this functions of this form change the other stuff as well. And this, I think, is supposed to... comes from YouTube's Minter. Yeah, so there you go. So this is the call to the API, which has the files. So I think I have to see these files from her project to see the differences of how she created, because this is the stuff that is gonna create the NFT in the behind the scenes. You make the call to this IPFS using Furia, and that this is gonna get the images from the stuff that you upload here based on this number. Where is client? So client is the API object. IPFS URL for uploaded metadata. Mint the NFT and save the IPFS URL to the blockchain. So IPFS is probably not, it's not the blockchain, it's just another system to save files, and then what gets saved in the blockchain is the pointer to that URL, I think. Transaction equal wait intercontract.methods. And this is the abstraction of the contracts, I think. I have to remember how this is being called. So it passes the event to this. And this is probably coming from props though. So this gets the image URL by doing this. Oh no, it's this function that is being called, not this one. I guess this is the one that creates the NFT. So I have to find where this one is being called. I guess when the form is sent somewhere, probably. Because then it's gonna use all the information from the form to create the NFT. Yeah, this is the button that creates. So save. It's coming from this. Which comes from index. Or maybe not. I think it's coming from this, maybe. It's very confusing. Where was that add? Oh, here. So save is add NFT, which is this function. Oh, here it is. Create NFT. And then passes this contracts, which is on this callback. I'm gonna have to spend some time until I fully understand what's going on, so I can start changing things. And this get assets probably gets the NFTs. And this is the callback. So guys, the logic here is the design of this. It puts all the functions to create the NFTs and mint on the utils here, and then it exports these functions, so it's accessible to the whole project, and then it uses these functions on the farm and the other page there. And this is probably the one that is populating the page with the NFTs. Div flags just fine. Let's see something here. There's nothing in the body. It's weird. Or maybe it's here. I don't think that's where I search. Control F here. Yeah. Oh, so this is the components. So this here is this component here. Here. So let's see if I can find this one. I think it's not gonna show up because it probably only shows up when you have NFTs there. So if NFT owner equals to address. So this checks to see who the owner is, and I guess each owner has their own collection, maybe? So if it is, add NFT, save NFT. Save because address. Otherwise it doesn't show anything. So let me see if I can find this component here. Yeah, so it's just this line because it doesn't contain anything for now. I think I'll be right back. think I'm gonna put my own music here because this music kind of sucks, to be honest. I didn't like it. And I'm just gonna decrease the volume so I don't get copyrighted. Just let me see. Yeah, but on here I think it's different. I think she added a new one. So I think the default one, the one that I have, is this My K9's page, which only displays the NFTs for the address of the owner. And this displays all the NFTs on the thing. I think I need to check her stuff. Let me see if I... Oh yeah, I was gonna look at a different one. Because there's... I'm gonna look at this. There's another video, I think, that is a different notebook.
Powerful art generator out there in the world right now. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but this is a very important month when it comes to the art generation community, and maybe not for the reasons that you may think, because it was Cliff's birthday a year ago. Woo! Cliff turned 1 year old this month. Woo! Let's go! All right, now we all know the incredible Catherine Croson, who's developed the amazing VQDN and Clip art generator. Go follow her on Twitter. Now she's back at it again with another very powerful art generator that's capable of doing many different things, like generating realistic images, generating anime, digital art, cubism, impressionism, generating any sort of art you can ever imagine. Okay, so all you need to do is ask properly. So this is a very powerful art generator, and it's capable of doing many different things. Okay, now the reason it's very powerful is because this is using a brand new type of diffusion architecture. Now Catherine Croson has trained a new model on this architecture, and this is exactly what's behind CC12M. Woo! So without further ado, let's use this incredibly powerful and beautiful art generator. All right, so let's use this very powerful art generator. Now, the first thing you need to do is click the link in the description, and that's going to send you to this Google Colab notebook. Now, if you don't know what Google Colab is, it's really just a website that allows you to run these art generators for free. And this is because of the power of cloud computing, okay? So once you click that link, you'll be sent to this Google Colab notebook, and the first thing I want you to do is hover over this first code block here, and then press the play button here. Now, what that's going to do is download all the required things that we need to run this art generator. Now, if you want to look at the code, you can press this drop-down arrow, and it'll show you all the code in here. It's just stuff to download, don't worry about it. I made it very simple for you to use. Now, it will take about 5 minutes, so I will let this run. So I'll see y'all once it's done. All right, so I just finished downloading everything, and once it's done downloading, you'll notice that the loading bar disappears, which kind of sucks because it doesn't give you much indication that it's done downloading. But a way that you can make sure that everything's done downloading is if you head on over to the left menu here and press the folder icon here. What you should see is 3 folders, and if you have those 3 folders, bada boom, bada bing, we're ready to roll to the next step. Okay, so in step number 2, this is where we can pass in the parameters for our art generator. So we're going to be generating art based off whatever parameters we set here. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, the first parameter is the prompt, which is the text input that's going to be fed into the art generator to generate a picture based off of, which is very cool. So here we're saying a colorful flower watercolor painting. Now you can change watercolor painting to digital art, anime, cubism, impressionism, anything you want, right? So, yeah, so really cool and very dynamic sentence here. The next thing is the height and the width. Now, for the height and width, keep in mind that it needs to be one of these numbers. So that it works. So yeah, the next parameter is the steps. So this is how long it's going to take to generate the art. So here, 700. Now the more, the better. Lower, the quicker. Next is the amount of images you want to generate at one instance. So here it's 4, so we're going to be generating 4 pieces at one time. The next one is parameter. I'm not going to talk about it, but you can tune this to change the output of the art. The next thing is the seed. The seed is used for reproducibility. So if you want to reproduce an image, change the seed to whatever you want. The next thing is the how often you want to display your progress. So here we're saying we're going to display every 25th generated image. You'll see what that means in a second. The next thing is if you want to save a progress video, so if you want to save an animation of the generations, check that. I like check it, but it will take a bit longer at the end of your generation. But yeah, so once we have all the parameters we want, all we need to do is press the play button to set all these parameters in stone. So if you see a green check mark on the second code block, then bada boom, bada bing, we can move on to the step number 3. So in step number 3, this is where we can run the art generator. So all you need to do now is press the play button, and this is going to generate our art. And as you can see, we have 4 different images that are going to be generated. Beautiful. Now, while it's generating, I want to talk about this course where I teach you how to become a master generative artist. So if you want to learn how to generate language, music, all sorts of art, check it out. If you want to learn how to generate that animation I made at the beginning of the video, check out the course because I keep it constantly updated with the latest trends in AI so that you can capitalize on the latest tools and make something crazy, wonderful, like, I don't know, a tarot card deck or AI generated trading card game or NFTs, anything. There's so many different possibilities. You can make games. Eventually, you'll be able to make 3D meshes, 3D worlds with this technology. It's beautiful. I have a bunch of videos on this technology. But yeah, so I'm going to let this generate. It's going to take about, I don't know, 10 minutes, depending on, again, what collab version you have. If you have the paid ones, it will go faster. If you have the free one, a bit slower. It also depends on the time steps that you set. But we are going to let this generate, and I will see y'all in a jiffy. So boom. All right, so my art has just finished generating. Now, once it's done downloading, you'll notice that this bar here is 100% depending on if you did the save progress video. You'll also notice that you have 4 files here, 4 PNG files, and 1 MP4 file. Okay, so these are your generated images. Now, you can also scroll through the output to look at the images, but you can double click the .png files here, and you'll have all the files. And if you click the 3 dots here, you can download it. Okay, so beautiful. Another thing is if you want to download the video, just download it like this, and bada boom, bada bing, you have your video. Now, you can also run this here to show the generated video, and you can run it. Now, sometimes I like to press the 3 bars here and playback speed, and maybe double times it, and you'll see that it comes out a lot quicker, which is very nice, right? And look at that output, right? Crazy, beautiful. I love it. But let's try another sentence. Okay, so the next sentence I want to try is this. All right, so the next sentence that we're going to pass in is hyper-realistic psychedelic angel of air. Now, I really like this sentence because you can customize this to so many different things, okay? So instead of doing angel of air, you can do angel of nature, angel of clouds, angel of earth, angel of fire, angel of rainbows, and it's going to make something very cool, okay? So this is a very good prompt. And if you want to learn more prompts, check out the subreddit in the description. I shared a bunch of really cool text prompts there, and I really hope this becomes a community of generative artists where we share our creations with each other and maybe the whole world. So here, what we have is hyper-realistic psychedelic angel of air, and that's what we're going to pass in. Although I want to change a couple more parameters. So instead of doing a height and width of 256, I'm going to do 512. The steps I'm going to keep at 700. For the number of images, we're going to do 4. Now, if you have the free version of Collab, so if you don't have the paid version, you might have to do 1. Although I do have Google Collab Pro Plus, as you can see in the top left corner, so I can do 4. But if you have the free one, you might not be able to do it. So keep that in mind. The next thing is the seed. So instead of a seed of 0, I just want to show you how you can customize this to whatever. So I'm just going to pass in a random set of numbers, and it's going to generate an image. So there's so many different possibilities, and we're only scratching the surface again, right? This is very powerful technology, and there's so many different sentences that you can pass in to generate never before seen art. Okay, so beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set these parameters in stone by pressing the play button, and I'm going to run the art generator. Okay. Now there's also some more prompts down here if you want to try it, but now we wait, and I'll see y'all once it's done. All right, so my art has just finished generating, and as you can see, we've created something that's absolutely beautiful. I think, the colors that the AI has chosen, the patterns that it combines it with, absolutely beautiful. I love this art. Now, as you can see, we have 4 beautiful pieces, and again, if you want to download them, just go right here. But let's check out this video. So as you can see, we have this generated video, so what I'm going to do is increase the playback speed because I think it looks clean, the faster it is. But look at how high definition this is. This is beautiful art. I love it. Again, if you want to learn a lot more prompts, check out the subreddit. There's going to be a bunch of different prompts that you can try for this exact art algorithm here. So yeah, check out the subreddit, check out the course if you want to become a master generative artist, and I will see y'all in the next video. Adios!
So let me think about a good thing to put here. While I think, I'm just gonna do the other stuff. And that's the problem. I don't have a CUDA GPU, I think. Or maybe I can integrate with Google Colabs. It's using logistic regression. I guess the only thing that changes from this is, and all the other machine learning models, is the number of parameters, not parameters, the number of weights and biases that it has. The neurons, number of neurons. It doesn't seem like there is anything special in the model itself. Maybe also some future engineering under the hood, or something like that. But at least from looking at this, doesn't seem like there is anything special here. So what can I put here? Maybe I'll just go with this one just to test, then I can think about more next time. That was fast. I just want to download one image from this one and update there. What's this? Then what I'm thinking. Now, first I have to focus on getting the first thing right, which is the. Oh, these images look way better than the previous model that I tested. What after I'm able to get the crypto zombie stuff there, then I'm gonna think about how to integrate this one. So I need to see the components in her project. I think I can close this crypto zombie stuff right now. I have probably all the baseline functions that I'll need to modify the contract. So I have the different stuff for the image. Maybe I should look to see if there's anything about the SVGs here. I remember there was a function that created the SVGs in that ABI.encode packet stuff. I just don't remember in which module it was from this thing here. The one that actually generated the image. Should probably just look at the last one. Yeah, I'm not sure. Should probably just gonna close this. I'm gonna copy this class here to see where is this element. I think I already found on the components, but I wanna understand. I think that's the conditional logic here to create a maybe, or maybe I'm confusing. Yeah, this is the component. Maybe it's easier to just do this. Or maybe I think it converts the bootstrap into that. To that class, probably. Yeah, that's probably what's going on here. Because that component is this one, the model. Yeah, so is this component here. Oh, maybe that's why the button doesn't show on the other one. Oh, huh. I think I understand now. So it's not showing when I open on the Brave browser, because on the Brave browser I have a different MetaMask wallet than I have on the Chrome one. And because I created a contract with the Chrome wallet, it only shows the button when I open with Chrome. Because of this condition here. If NFT equals owner. If NFT owner equals address, then it shows this component here, which is the component that has the model and the button on the side here. This button here, which creates this model. I think I'm starting to understand. So one thing I can do is open this on the browser, on the Brave browser, and I can remove that condition and see if the button shows up. So on this wallet, the button doesn't show up here. The only thing is I might have to restart the thing. So maybe I can just do this. And then, oh, I can't really do that because it's JSX. So all the comments here. Maybe I'll just delete this for now. I just want to see if it's gonna show up or not. There we go. So now it shows up here because I removed the condition. And then if I put again, it's gonna disappear. Interesting. So I think what she did there probably was she left this as the portion for the my canines stuff, and then she did another component that shows up regardless and just shows all the NFTs. So she probably changed this add component here, which has the model, or maybe not actually, because yeah, actually yes, because on hers is different, the button to add NFTs, so she probably changed this one, and she probably changed this index as well. So I think those are the two files that I have to look up. And then obviously the minter and the cards. Maybe not this two because yeah, they should probably change this two because they are related to the contract itself. The functions in the contract. So guys, these are the 4 files and then the contracts as well that I have to look into. See if the images are done. So this one has a video as well. Damn. That's crazy. Well, let me see if I have height and width here. If I can find the height and the width of the image. Or maybe that's on the bootstrap stuff. So might be hard to find. It's calling the token. Alright, passing the token ID. Shape. So this is probably the function that is setting the width and the height. Yeah, but I don't think there is a fixed height and width from this. It looks like it just gets from the shapes here. But how does it decide based on that? I think it's probably on the contract. I remember doing some stuff like that. There was some stuff on the JSON of the file that I changed to square. These ones, the attributes here. But I don't remember setting width and height. Or maybe it's this one that determines that. Yeah, it's probably this one because this one is gonna be the cards, so yeah, row attributes dot map. And this is the map. This is the array. Where was it? Yeah, this here. And it's so confusing. There's so many things connected here. It's hard to keep track of everything. So let me see what buttons I have here. Create NFT and close. So the handle close just closes the pop-up, the model. And this one is probably the one that sends the call to create the NFT. Comes from here. She's add NFT. And then uses the functions on the utils. So the utils function probably comes from the minter. Yeah, there's nothing about width and height, just attributes. So I guess if I want to incorporate width and height, I need to put that into the attributes here. I think on this one, yeah, here. I need to do the same thing that I did for colors and shapes to width and height. And then when I'm creating the JSON for the files, for the NFTs, I need to put the attribute here. I think I'm starting to understand how it works. So these functions here, they interact with the contract. And the contract is based on the JSON file when you upload to this IPF stuff. And the smart contract itself is interacting with this to get the image, I think. But I still don't understand really well the integration between the smart contract and the IPFS stuff. Where is this function? What comes from this? It comes from add NFTs, I think. Yes, set add NFT, create minter, perform actions, use contract kit. So this comes from Salo API. Convert NFT metadata to JSON formats. Description, image IPFS image. And then with the attributes. And this saves the NFT on the IPFS. But can't you just save a bunch of them? That's a problem. I guess if you're using a real net, then it is not a problem because you have to pay, but for the test nets is a problem, I think. And then it gets the URL using this command here. Mint NFT and save the IPFS route to the blockchain. Then it calls the safe mint from the contract. Let's see. It's passing this contract. Comes from NFT list. Where does this come from? Maybe it comes from here. Yeah, it has to be this. This minter contract here. Comes from hooks. And here it is, the my NFT, which is this contract that I deployed, and when you deploy, it creates the API. I don't remember if yeah, the JSON is here. It comes from contracts, my NFT. But where is this? So it's one level above this one. It should be on the source. Contracts. Not sure if that's the address of my wallet there. I don't remember doing this. I think it's just done when you deploy the contract or something like that. Because I know for this network specifically, you can't use the private key, you have to use the secret phrase to validate the transaction. And that's why I used the other wallet. Because I didn't want to risk using the secret key of the other wallet that I have. But I think I was trying to figure out the width and the height. And I think that's just from the attributes. But I'm not sure if those attributes, I think it's probably on the contract that I have to change. But maybe not, actually. I'm still confused about that. Because I think the width and height for the component is different than the width and height for the image. Width and height for the component is probably done through this card here with the bootstrap. But for the image, I think is different. And I guess it just depends on the way, at least the way this was done, it depends on the image itself, because I don't think I can see the relationship between the attributes here and the actual width and height of the image. Because it seems that the image is just uploaded through this, and so I guess it doesn't matter. I can just leave without the width and height and use the standard ones from the Google Colab, because it's gonna have the same resolution. Then I can change the default resolution based on whether or not it's too big or small for the component height and width here. So, okay. So this gets the contract from the hooks, which gets the JSON stuff. guess the contract ABI and the key there, I think. I think I didn't look at this function as well. So it's using use contract from this file here. ABI contract address. Then uses the stuff from Salo, contract kits. Here makes a call with the Web3 to create a contract abstraction, I think. And then the contract is gonna have these functions here. You can burn, you can transfer, you can save mints. Let me see where the save mint is being used. Probably here. Breadbrack. Think now is probably the time to look at the contract that she did, to see the differences. This comes from the minter, I think. Yeah, minter. Data comes from the add NFTs, which is here, I think. Yeah. Which is gonna be that object, I think, from this file. The save stuff. Yeah, this one. So that save function is this function. So it's like it's passing this stuff here to here. Name, IPFS, image, description, owner address, attributes. It says loading to true and passes this data to the create NFT, which is this function. And then destructs the data here. Maybe that's not the best way to say it. Destructs or some. I don't know how to say that, but transforms that into its own variables, I think. Unpacks the data into the variables. So it goes from here to here, which calls this function. And then get assets, which is gonna get all the NFTs for the wallet, I think. So let me see data. Yeah, it's gonna Minter is the contract, that is my NFT, that's all. Another thing is that this contract is written in Solidity, so maybe I can use the same contract for a bunch of different networks. And the only thing that changes is the way that they're gonna validate the contract with the API, which in this case, it seems that is using this contract kit from the Celo tools, but maybe other blockchains, probably they have the different something close to this, use contract kit to validate the address and stuff like that. So maybe it's possible to use this project for multiple different blockchains, and I think I'm gonna try to do that after I incorporate the stuff that I want in this one. But I have to be patient and focus on this stuff, because I have the tendency of thinking about 50 different things at once. My mind starts going all over the place, so. Yeah. So it passes so this is the data essentially from the form here. Name, IPF as description owner and attributes. So it requires name, description, and IPF as image. Yeah, either one of them, actually. Well, actually, all of them. No, either one of them, actually. Because if it has name, it's gonna continue. So default account equals kit, which I don't know exactly what it is because it comes from Celo. Kit here. Yeah, these perform actions, I remember seeing that. It comes from the Zelo use contract stuff, I think. Yeah, use contract kit. And then convert NFT metadata to JSON formats. So it takes the stuff from the form and converts into JSON format. then gets the client abstraction, which is this IPFS, and calls the add function, which probably adds the image to this stuff that I have there. Adds the image here probably, but I'm not sure. I forgot to save this. I'm gonna try to upload this one into the other one to see what happens. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding exactly what is going on before I do that. So what I think is going on is that once I complete the form, it's gonna call all these functions, and then it's gonna put the stuff on the form on this format, and then it's gonna call this, which is an API call to this IPFS HTTP client, which adds the data into the stuff that I have there. And that's gonna create this key here, which is the key that is being used here to get the URL. And then it mints the NFT with this transaction function here by calling the safe mint and send from the contract, which is this safe mint here. Where is send? So I don't have send there. Interesting. Maybe it is inside safe mint. Yeah, I don't understand what this send is. Let me see here. From default account, which is the owner of the NFT. Which comes from the use kit, use contract kit here. So the minter contract is this contract. The other contract, the other stuff is the address that is interacting with this contract, I think. So it calls safe mint with owner address. Where is the address here? It's being passed as props from the main component, which is the wallet assigns in initially. Comes from this. But this is weird because maybe it comes from here. Yeah, this is the address from the wallet. Uses contract kit. So this is the address from this one. Now I get it, I think. Then it passes this function, which probably interacts with the address as well. Or maybe not. I don't know. Mint the NFT and save the IPFS route to the blockchain. So the owner address is this one, which comes from this one, which comes as a props, which is, yeah, but then, because the weird thing is that this add NFTs is not being called by the wallet stuff here. It's on the NFTs prop. Oh no, it's using this connect function, because in the main page you click connect and then that's probably the function that changes the address here. Yeah, but it should be this one that is being passed as props there. That's what I don't understand, because NFTs is coming from Minter NFTs, which is this folder here. That's what doesn't make any sense. But maybe I haven't looked into the wallet components. Yeah, I don't think there's anything related here. What I'm confused by is that this is being passed, the contract that is being passed to this component here is this minter contract, which comes from these hooks. So this function should be using that contract from this logic, because it receives this address from, this is the owner address, and receives that from the argument here, which is the props that is being passed to add NFTs. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong place. I forgot. Because added NFTs is here. Oh, now, yeah, it makes a lot more sense. So it is like I was thinking about. Fetch contract owner. No address. Comes from where? Yeah, comes from the use contract kit. So, which is the one that is being set in the beginning here with this hook from the wallet. Or from the connect, actually. The connect sets the state of the address. So there's still more stuff here that I have to see. Just fetch contract owner. So add NFT. This dot send I still don't understand. I think it's just specifying which one is coming from. So the true value is the owner address and then passes URL. And the counter.current. Which calls this function here. Oh, this is not anywhere because it's probably being inherited from one of these contracts here. That's the thing. That's why I'm missing probably a method here. Because safe mint, because I have safe mint on this contract, but the actual function that is being used is not explicit here. It comes from one of these protocols that is from OpenZeppelin to mint NFTs, and that's why I'm not seeing any dot send there. Because this send function is probably on the other functions that I can see on the contract that I have here. But I imagine what it's doing is specifying from which account it's coming from. It's minting for the owner address from the default account, which is the account from the kit. No, from the owner. And what's the difference? I don't understand. I think this default account is the address, but then the address of the wallet there initially. But then what is owner address? It's the same thing. Oh, because it makes owner address equal to this address. So it's pretty much the same thing, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need a break soon. But my understanding is far better now than when I started, at least, of how everything is working here. Hmm. What's the name of this? Let's see what happens if I do this. I want to see if anything's gonna change on my IPFS stuff. No, interesting. Nice. Okay, so it worked. Let's see if anything changes here. And so it looks like nothing changed. Weird. So I guess it's not necessary to store the file because it stores on the blockchain with the IPFS link URL to it. Hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit cut out here, so that's the problem. So I have to decrease the size of this one, probably to 128. I have to rerun everything, I think. Yeah, I still don't understand really well the IPFS stuff. How it connects this. Because it's not gonna have the file once I upload the file. Maybe I should delete the file and see what happens. It's probably gonna stay there. Because it's on the blockchain. Yeah, there we go. The URL part I understand, I think. Just using the path here. So it should be generating, this function should be generating the code probably. This string here, CID. I think that's what this thing does. Maybe I should search IPFS, HTTP client, to understand better what's going on. I need to see the documentation. Or maybe I can just do F12 here. My own TypeScript. Ah, it's not Python actually. I forgot that I'm using JavaScript now. So I'm gonna search for JavaScript documentation. Yeah, but I think he's creating that code and then making the URL like this, and then is setting this URI using the set token URI, which is not on this contract. It's on the ERC, this one probably. ERC 721 URI storage. Because he's using super as well, which is inheriting from the contract. Maybe I can also go to OpenZeppelin, the repository, and try to find these functions here to see what they do. I think this mints to the owner address, which is the same as the address, because it comes from this one here. And then this default comes from the kit one, which I guess is different from this one. Maybe we should look at the seller documentation as well to understand this use contract kit function. Because it seems like the kit comes embedded with this perform actions function. And this changes the state of the address. Because I don't understand what is this default account here. That's the problem. I'm not sure if that's the account from the owner, the contract owner, or from Celo or something like that. It's a little bit confusing. So this saves the NFT metadata to IPFS. Because it seems to me that it's using the same address in both cases. So I don't know why it's different there. When you connect, it's gonna call the connect, which is gonna change the address, probably using this use contract kit in the beginning of the page. And then it's gonna take you to the other page. Or maybe not. When it's connected, it's gonna show this. Yeah, that's what's going on. So if address, then it shows this. And then else, it connects. Which gets the wallet. Okay, so yeah. So the main page is this one, which shows that page there with the button. The NFT component and the wallet. This component is probably this one here. Now I understand, I think. But the address is still confusing because so that's the wallet there, and then you have the NFTs component here. And then this minter contract is being passed using the hook there. Which is pretty much the address of the contract that I have there. This contract here. I still don't understand the difference in the addresses though. So this gets the owner of the contract. Where is this? It comes from the minter stuff. So this is the function. And then it calls the minter contract methods. So this gets the owner of this contract here. And then sets this at this as a NFT owner address. So if NFT owner equals address, which is this address here. So if the owner of the contract is the NFT owner, is the address here, then it's gonna show this. Add NFTs. And otherwise, it doesn't show. So the way that this was designed was just so that I am the only one that can put NFTs there because I'm the one that deployed the contract. I think I understand that now. So it's meant to be just, if you're not the owner, it's just going to display the NFTs that exist on the collection. And if you are the owner of the contract, then allows you to add NFTs to the collection. I think I understand it now. And it's probably because of the IPFS stuff. But I don't understand why it didn't add anything there. That's the thing. Because in my mind, it should add to the site once I create a new NFT. So in my mind, this should have the other NFT that I just added there. Should have the image with the CID here. I don't understand why it doesn't. After I added this one. Maybe because this is on my local host. I'm not using the actual site that is exists on the GitHub repo. And just doing this stuff on the local host. But it should have interacted with the testnet of the Silo network, even if it's on my local host. Because it's calling this contract which is deployed to the blockchain. I think the only difference between the interacting with this on the actual repo, the site, and on the local host is just the access to other people. Because I think anyone can interact with this contract that is deployed in the blockchain. If they have the address of the contract, they just can make this calls here. The only difference is if it's gonna show up on the site or not. I think the one that I have on the repo is probably not gonna show, I think. Let me see. I forgot the link. Maybe I should put the link here as well. Make sure that I don't leak anything that I can't. Where can I change the about thing? Oh, here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, but it looks like it changed on the site as well, even though I didn't deploy the changes. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, because I guess the site is interacting with the contract, and since I deploy it to the blockchain, it gets when it uses the function to get all the NFTs, which is somewhere here. Where is it? Get assets, this function here. When it calls this function, it finds the NFT on the contract, I think, based on the owner. Yeah, get comes from the mint utils, the minter. Totalsupply.com. Which again is not here. Where is this? So this gets the URL based on the I. I guess this gets the total number of NFTs that exist on the contract. Yeah, so that's the thing. I guess that's the difference between the way that I have here and the way that she did it. Because this is only owner, which means that I'm the only one that I can interact with the contract. So all the NFTs are gonna be on my address. And it's very confusing, I don't understand. Like, and also how if someone else wanted to buy this NFT from here, how would they do that? That's the other thing that I don't get. But I guess on this one also doesn't have any option to buy or sell, and the ID number is here on top. I guess you can put on the contract. That's the thing. If you change the contract, then you can put functions here, and then the functions are gonna determine what you can do with the NFT or not. So if you want to sell and buy, you have to create a function here. So maybe two functions. One is the bid, and the other. Yeah, but what's still confusing to me is how the addresses interact with the contract. I don't understand this really well. What's the difference between that use contract kit and save the this default account here and the owner address here. That's what I don't understand. Comes from the kit, but what address is this? And why is here in the data this address? Like, is this shoe address different or are the same? I think this one comes from this one, which is the address of the wallet. Comes from the props, which is on the app, I think. No, it's here. So it comes from here, from this function, or from this actually, which is on the use contract kit state. So when you call that function, it goes here, and that address is the use contract kit address. So what's weird to me is why make two different ones here? It doesn't make any sense to me. Because it seems like this address is the same as this one. And then uses this one to create the metadata. So from default account. So I guess this is the address of the owner of the contract. And this is the address of the account that is creating the NFT, I think. And that's why in this case they are the same. But they are not always necessarily the same. So I think the owner address never changes because it's the only one that can activate the function because it has only owner here. And then this goes from SafeMe to oh, but this is actually the person that is gonna receive the thing. So maybe default account is the owner. Yeah, default account is the owner of the contract. And then owner address is the one that is being sent to, which is the one that is on the form here. It's just confused. The names are confusing actually, but I think I understand now. So this is the address of the wallet that is creating the NFT, which is gonna be passed here. Essentially, it's gonna go through the props and be passed through this here. And then it's gonna call safe mint and pass this. So the wallet that is creating the NFT is gonna be here on the true, along with the URL that was created on top there, just above this, using the IPFS method with the data from this account. So this is the address on the form. This is the address of the owner of the contract, I think. And that's why they are different, because when you're creating the metadata, you need the address of the owner of the default account. which is defined on the environment variables. And when you're minting, you're using the address of the wallet that is creating that, which is essentially this wallet here with the connect. I think I get it now. It's just gonna be the wallet address here. Because I think it's using the same function, but is using the same method here, but it's two different things. That's why it's confusing. So I think I'm gonna look it up. Seller use contracts kit notation. I think this is the one. Let me see. API v0. Add a file or directory to IPFS. Yeah, it is how I was thinking about, but it's weird that it doesn't show there. The file after it is uploaded. I think I need to focus on one thing at a time. And the problem is that everything is connected, so it's not like I can focus on the front end and then focus on the contract. I have to do the two things simultaneously because I have to understand how the image is connected to the front end, so I can change the contract based on the stuff that I want there. But I think two things that I'm gonna do that I already know is add two functions here to allow for trading the NFT. So this is, I would think I'm already put it as a comment here. Add a function to set bids bid price for NFT. Add function for the owner to accept. So people can trade NFTs. I think that's a good idea. And then I think I understand already actually. Because after you add the functions here, the only thing I have to do is go on the front end and create a use state hook, so that it is gonna call a function that is gonna run these functions on the contract based on what you put here. And also should put on the front end the function to burn. Maybe I should put only owner here. I don't remember what internal does exactly, but I'm pretty sure this function burns the NFT or deletes it. So I should probably modify this to only owner, maybe. And then I can also create a button for the owner, but it's gonna be complicated to. I think those are good functions to put because it's gonna help me understand how it works. But it's gonna be complicated to implement this because I'm gonna have to base the logic based on those addresses of whether or not the person that is looking at the collection is actually the owner of the NFTs or anyone. And then I have to put the logic of the if else statement based on that. So I make sure that only the owner is capable of deleting the things, the NFT, and setting the bid stuff and stuff like that. But I guess I can use the address from this wallet here, from the connect, which is this address being passed as props here. I can pass this address into NFTs maybe. Yeah, I have to understand it better, make sure that the difference between this address and the other one is exactly what I'm thinking about, or if it's a different thing and I'm just confusing the two. Because in my mind, this address is coming from the props, which is the function here. Add NFTs, which comes from this use contract kit. And this one is different than the other one in the beginning, but I'm not really sure actually, because it might be just the same. I think this one is the same. The one that is different is the default one here. This one is different than the other one, I think. And it's based on these perform actions that I don't understand really well because it comes from the Silu stuff. So I need to understand this difference here. And then once I understand this difference, then I think it's pretty easy. Because all that matters is figuring out the logic for depending on which wallet is interacting with the thing. And the wallet of the owner of the contract, to be able to change the logic of the contract and to add or remove the functionality that I want. Like she did here. So maybe I should also yeah, I'm definitely gonna look at her GitHub repo and see how she did these buttons here and how she integrated this with her contract, and also these buttons here. What's the difference between them? because this one allows me, it's only the wallet that is connected here. This one, all of them. And this is the same button as before, but should only change the input fields here. So I think I'm gonna take a break now, and when I come back, I'm gonna look at her repo with the files I have here and see the differences on her and the files. And I think that's gonna help me understand better this difference here between addresses. And after I do that, then I'm probably gonna take notes on my project as I go through her project and see the differences. And then I'm gonna write comments on the places that I wanna add stuff, I think, based on hers. And after I'm done with that, then I'm gonna add the functions and play around and see what happens. So I think I'll be back today, if not probably tomorrow. So see you. And I might do some of this stuff off stream as well. But yeah, so see you then.